Hey guys, the experiment that we're undertaking is for the Hermitage Plant Science Competition for 2013, and the focus this year is on food farming and fungi. The first experiment that we need to undertake is the mouldy bread experiment, and to undertake that we needed to first come up with an aim or a problem statement, and then a hypothesis, and investigate that, or work out how to investigate that. In class we talked about our aim, and that was to identify what conditions suppressed or accelerated the growth of mould in our mouldy bread experiment. And we discussed the variables of temperature, light, moisture, types of bread, make, or the maker of the bread, so brand of bread, as well as a couple others that we discussed, but they were the main ones. And we decided that we were going to undertake the experiment and look at the independent variable of temperature for Year 10s. So we decided that we were going to have the hypothesis that the warmer the temperature, the faster the mould would grow, and that we would set up the experiment in the dark, so that light was a constant, so it would be in the dark in 3 different environments. One would be room temperature in a cupboard, in a box in a cupboard. One would be at fridge temperature, and one would be at freezing temperature. Or we could also look at warmer than room temperature and put one of our boxes on top of a hot water service, or something that was continually that little bit warmer. I haven't been able to do that here at the school, do the warm one, so I'm going to go with the freezer, the fridge and room temperature. So in order to get the experiment set up, we needed some snap-lock bags, some bread, so I've just gone with, I've taken the oath and we've gone with 1 bag bread, and we're going to set up 5 replications of the same experiment. So we will have 3 bags in each experiment, 1 for room temperature, 1 for fridge temperature and 1 for freezer temperature, which we will label, and we'll repeat that experiment 5 times. We will then lay the bread out on the cupboard to allow for mould spores to land on the bread, and we'll do that for a period of time and try and keep that period of time as uniform as possible. We will then start, that will be the start of the experiment, and we will monitor the growth of the mould on the bread over a period of up to 3 weeks, regularly looking maybe every 2nd or 3rd day, or I might even take a daily mouldy bread diary. Okay, so I'll get this set up, and then first step was to lay the bread out, and I've left it there exposed for a little bit so that there might be some mould spores land on it. And I've got a spray bottle. I'm going to spray each piece of bread with a little bit of moisture. I'll put 3 sprays on each piece of bread, and then place them into the Ziploc bags and label them. Now I need to put the bread in the bags. The bread's all been exposed to the air for the same amount of time with the moisture on it. And each of the bags are labelled, experiment 1, bag 1. Experiment 2, bag 2.
Having said that,
Then I'm separating, just hold on a second, then I'm separating the experiments into their 3 categories, bag 1, bag 2, bag 3. Bag 1 will be put in the freezer, or sorry, the fridge, because I've decided that we're going to have fridge, room temperature, and an environment that is warmer than room temperature. We've got a spot on top of a hot water service, which is perfect. We're going to have our first lot of bread in the fridge. We're going to have our second lot of bread in a box at room temperature, in a cupboard out of the way. And we're going to have our third lot of bread in a box on top of our hot water service, so it's slightly warmer. And we're going to observe the mould growth in the 3 different environments. So, video diary, day 5. This is the bread that's been kept in the condition of lower temperature, so fridge temperature, and there's no signs of any mould growth as of day 5. Bread at room temperature, 5 repetitions of this condition, and I've noticed a piece of mould, or a colony of mould growing on one of our pieces of bread. The other 4 seem fine. Again, doesn't quite fill a square centimetre, so it's not a score, but worth noting. So that's an experiment 5 in repetition number 5 in the condition of room temperature. Found in, this is the bread that is kept in the warm temperature on top of the hot water service. I've started to notice a patch of mould just here. It's not enough to call it 1 point yet, because it's less than 1 square centimetre, but I have noticed that it is starting to form. So I wonder whether we can just zoom in on that one. I'm not sure whether you can see the mould starting to form just there. But of the 5 experiments, or the 5 examples of this one condition, that's the only one I've seen as yet.